Hey there, I'm Matt Nelson, founder of Peachtree Rose Marketing, a boutique marketing agency in San Antonio, Texas. And just like any agency owner, we've seen a huge dynamic shift in the past 5 years in how we do marketing for our clients and ourselves. And where we started with direct mail, website design, and search engine optimization, we quickly niched into things like video podcasting and content and answer engine optimization. So we've noticed the change in how consumers find brands, businesses, and personalities, and we've really leveraged that in creating a new tool that we've titled PRM Content Engine. And it's just a way that fellow agency owners can help their clients rank better on traditional search engines like Google and Bing, as well as get their brands cited on answer engines like Claude, Perplexity, ChatGPT, Gemini, you name it. And one of the best ways of doing that is by creating curated, brand voiced, long form blog articles. And I know that sounds cheesy, but what I'm talking about is not just a one-click prompt from ChatGPT and copied over and pasted to your existing website. I mean something in-depth that's written with nuance, that is written and styled for not just search engines, but answer engines, key takeaways, frequently asked questions, AI-generated, very specific imagery. And we took a lot of our frameworks that we did a lot of the manual heavy lifting for that would take, anywhere from 4 to 8 hours or more, depending on the client. And we've really boiled it into a 90-second window on average. So leveraging the PRM Content Engine, you can basically do all of that in a 90-second window. So I'm going to walk through the plugin. Right now it's on WordPress, and it's for WordPress websites, but we're going to quickly create the same capabilities for other content management systems like Wix, Weebly, Squarespace, and Kajabi here pretty soon. So I'll show you a few of the capabilities here. We've got on the main page of the dashboard, you can generate and set up a brainstormer, right? So you can brainstorm titles based on key inputs. I'm just going to show you what that capability looks like. So think informational, commercial, transactional, things like that. You can create brainstormed content pillars. They're not the actual titles of the blog articles, but it gives you an idea of what type of blog article you might want to write. So if we were to click on something, and this is for the client Podcast Studio San Antonio or podcaststudiosatx.com, they're trying to rank for Podcast Studio as a rental model. So new to podcasting, start easily at our San Antonio studio. Let's try that. We'll go ahead and click it. We've got some default settings for this client that we've already set up. We'll go with classic in terms of the layout of the article. And generally speaking, it takes about 90 seconds to create this AI generated long form, nuanced brand voice blog article that performs on both search engines like Google and answer engines like ChatGPT. On average, 90 seconds. It does depend on the customization level for the particular client. In this case, I think the default is around 2,500 words or so. You can customize it on the pro version of this plugin, where you can really set up your target word count that's higher than 3,000 if you want, a super in-depth guide style thing. And you can override those settings, of course, on the Generate tab here. Likewise, you can just come down here to New Article. You can write your own direction with your own focus keywords on where you want to go and how you want it to be. With that, all of this is kind of informed by the individual customizable brand SEO settings and content settings for that particular brand. And here we've got an SEO profile, style and voice, content strategy, and content settings. Those 4 tabs are arguably some of the most important tabs, which is why we really designed this for marketing agencies that can help brands, businesses, and personalities actually walk down the right customer profile journey in understanding their target audience and understanding how to position their messaging most effectively, and to help AI be informed on how to write for the right customer and the right platform. So we can see here that the article was created successfully. We try and ballpark a good 20% range in terms of the actual word count. But as you can see here, 2,200 words, 7 sections, 9 questions with a stylized accordion style frequently asked questions section, as well as key takeaways. But let's see what we've got here for this answer engine optimized blog article that was created with AI. So we've got a featured image here, and it is AI generated. All of this is customizable. We can change up a few things, but the fact that it's done for you quickly at scale, and by the way, you can schedule this monthly, weekly, daily, depending on what kind of license you've got. It's already got key takeaways up front. It's already got sectionals that are succinct and not redundant. So it is written as if a human wrote it. We do have varied sentence length, so it's not like it's AI fluff that's regurgitated. This one's pretty in-depth, which I like. We've got frequently asked questions to, again, help brands, businesses, and personalities rank on not just search engines, but those awesome answer engines we're so used to these days. And you can even set up to where we've got calls to action. You can customize this and make buttons, or you can just leave it as text. So pretty awesome capability. I'll walk you again through a little bit of the other tabs. For SEO profile, some of it's more demographic, right? Business name, website, location, geographically, industry or niche. Services offered, service areas. All of that, think of your Google business profile and stuff that you'd normally put in your Google business profile. It goes in there. Target audience, brand voice notes, and brand founding story snippets. Any key differentiators or unique value propositions for that business that the business wants to bring up. And you can even list keywords and competitors. I'll show you some of the keywords listed for Podcast Studio San Antonio. But what I won't do is show you some of the competitors. You can basically list out, oh, there we go, there's one. You can list out the primary URLs of key competitors, and what AI will do in that 90-second window on average, it's going to go ahead and comb those competitors' websites, see if they've written anything similar to what you want to write, and make sure that we're writing for something that's more robust. So pretty competitive there. Style and voice, you can really dial in how you want AI to write on your behalf for your brand using this tab here. You can even upload writing samples in terms of how you write human to human, so it can replicate some of that. Content strategy, I love this. This is where you can get into content pillars that you really want to add depth to. So think of your focused keyword phrases and what kind of angles or themes you would want AI to write around those. This is going to be one of the things that fuels the information behind those brainstorm generated articles or topical themes. In content settings, you can really get into the customization of the default settings on how you want your articles to be written. Generally speaking, you do want something more in depth. If you did want shorter articles, this is actually in the free version of the plugin. You just have to have your own Gemini API key and Claude API keys. You can plug those in and you can just use it for free in terms of having, I think it's 800 and 1,000 word articles. We typically keep ours around 2,500 words. That performs pretty well. Reading level, you can adjust that. You can adjust how many sections you've actually got in your article and whether or not you want to have a call to action and how you want it to basically look. How many frequently asked questions you want, which style you want it. I usually recommend the styled accordion. It usually comes out pretty nicely. You don't technically have to have any, plugins associated with that. We're optimizing it for the Gutenberg and the Elementor themes in terms of how those block style things work in WordPress. You can also customize what you want in your calls to action, the actual layout of your blog articles, or if you want AI to say, hey, we've been writing in this classic format where we've got the featured image, we've got the header, we've got calls to action, key takeaways. and then paragraphs and bodies and headings, things like that. Or you could have more call to action focus, prose, where you've just really got the writing itself and not really focused on CTAs. I like to wildcard it sometimes because that just allows AI to just kind of get a good balance across all of them. If you've got tabled information or you're comparing things, you can also have tables generated on your behalf. And that's where things get super cool, I think. Again, that is an answer engine optimization hack. I don't like the word hack necessarily, but it's one of the ways that you can perform on answer engines like ChatGPT and Gemini is by having that. And if you've been in web design and you've worked with clients on, building out search engine optimization strategies and in-depth blog articles, comparison tables can be a beast. Well, this automates a lot of that process for you, which is kind of fun. Auto tags, you can have AI smart tag those so they can automatically generate tags. Images, if you do want AI to create featured images for your blog post, you can set up some of those settings here depending on how you want that image to look, to include things like hinting around brand colors and brand schemes, things like that. Intel briefs are fun. This can actually send an email to you with some industry insights based on unique URLs that you believe are trusted and related to your industry. You can set that up in the section here for the site profile editor. Depending on your industry, you can kind of hone that in. And then looking at your Intel feed, what trusted sources would you put your brand behind if you were going to reference them in an outbound link for some of your blog articles and things like that? You put those there. You can schedule to have these sent to you via email, just in terms of updating you daily on what's going on in your industry, and that can also fuel some of your current events for blog articles as well. So as we look at it again, these are Intel briefs. It's a pro feature. You can generate a brief on the fly if you want to as well. You can set up the search engine ranking page tracking, so you can plug in up to 50 keyword phrases that you would like tracked from when you started with the plugin until, basically forever, and see how well they're performing in bulk on answer engines, or rather search engines like Google. And we do use Google as the primary search engine for this SERP setting. Article log, you can see what blog articles you've created when, what kind of generation has been had on your account, and you can go in obviously and edit them just like you can do on posts, because they do typically go to posts as kind of the default setting. You can detect what the SEO plugin is to make sure that your meta descriptions and your SEO titles, your focus keywords, all of those carry over as well. We like to suggest that any AI leveraged branding or content always has a human in the loop, that you just set it to draft mode first, and then you go in and then you go ahead and publish it once you feel like you like it. That said, you can tweak that setting for now. It's possibly going to go away. We'll see. To where you can have it publish immediately. If you go back down here to content strategy, that's where you can set up your generation frequency on whether or not you want those draft articles to be made or you want those published articles to be done for you. And again, tread lightly with the published for you. I do always suggest have a human in the loop. That way you don't get surprised later. Monthly, weekly, daily, you can set that up. And this is going to be a complete game changer for how we are, positioning our businesses in front of people on screens. And, whether or not it's the human behind the screen who's reading your, in-depth industry insider information, or it's the traditional search engine like Google, or your modern answer engine like ChatGPT that wants to cite your brand as the industry expert and authority figure, we've got it done for you. And again, this is the PRM Content Engine WordPress plugin coming soon to other content management systems. I'm Matt Nelson with Peachtree Rose Marketing, and I'll catch you on the next one.